and Girls with Disabilities, PED, jointly implemented by women-led organizations, will enhance capacities through startup capitals for employment, skills development, and access to higher education to promote economic freedoms.
When it comes to recruitment of persons with disability, it is individual, depending on your qualifications. So depending on what the employer also wants, you apply as an individual. But the only thing that we need here now is talking about reasonable accommodation that could make that individual very effective and efficient in carrying out his day-to-day activities at the employment field.
It is expected that by the end of this project, the knowledge of women and girls in disability on their human and economic rights would be increased.
The policy will provide a platform that would enable everyone to know what they have to do to ensure that persons with disability receive the needed employment that they have.
Project locations will be in the northern and upper west regions, Ashanti and central regions.
Now, the Presbyterian College of Education wants to be awarded a presidential charter to make it a fully fledged tertiary institution to award its own degrees rather than through its affiliate, the University of Cape Coast. The moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Professor Joseph Obri-Yeboah-Manteh, made the appeal at the celebration of the college's 175th anniversary at Ekropong in the Eastern Region. A report by Gifty J.
The Presbyterian College of Education, Ekropong, was established by the Basel Mission in 1848. As it embarked on its evangelism work in the 1800s, the Basel Evangelical Society found it prudent to establish schools to educate the local people. Since 1848, the Presbyterian College of Education has grown and undergone massive transformation. The school's population has increased from the initial 5 students in 1848 to over 1,800 in 2023. The Presbyterian College of Education at Ekropong is the only college in Ghana that has a special unit that trains visually impaired, hearing impaired, and physically challenged students. The principal of the college, Reverend Dr. Nicholas Apresian, spoke about the current state of the school, describing it as one of the best teacher training institutions in Ghana. A deputy minister for education in charge of TVET, Madam Gifty Chim Ampofo, hinted that arrangements are ongoing to increase gross tertiary enrollment from the current 20% to 40% by the year 2030, establishing a correlation between gross tertiary enrollment and gross domestic product of the country. Madam Chim Ampofo stated that countries with 40% and above have attained optimum development. A special advisor to the president, Mr. Yao Osafo-Mafo, called for the reintroduction of the Presbyterian discipline which existed in the past.
It is important that our attitude should be such that it is protective, it is ready to assist. It cannot be that when it comes to government property, then every Ghanaian thinks that it must be mishandled.
Acknowledging the contribution of government towards the growth of the Presbyterian College of Education, the Presbyterian moderator, Right Reverend Professor Obri-Yeboah-Manteh, appealed to the government to urgently consider awarding the institution a presidential charter to enable it to award its own degrees.
For the sake of the fact that we now have free SHS and so many students are coming up, it may make a lot more sense to upgrade some of these colleges of education into fully fledged universities than starting from scratch.
The Presbyterian moderator also called for a special condition of service for tutors of the school to help curb the current high attrition rate facing the college. Some Get Fund projects were inaugurated as part of the 175th anniversary celebration. Gifty AJ, GBC News, Ekropong, Ekuapem.
And let's go to the north, where the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Mr. Alban Bagbin, has been inskin the development chief of the Takpo traditional area in the Nadoli Kalio district of the Upper West region under the skin name Temalina. Mr. Bagbin was outdoored at a deba of the chiefs and people of the traditional area at Takpo. The Paramount Chief of Takpo, Widana Nanga, speaking at the outdooring ceremony, said the Paramountcy decided to confer the title on the Speaker of Parliament based on the impact he has made on the lives of the people of the traditional area. Nanga mentioned education, health, electricity and water are some of the facilities provided by the Speaker in the traditional area. Nanga said the honor done the Speaker is to appreciate what is done for his people. The DCE for Nadoli Kalio, Madam Catherine Lankono, congratulated the Speaker and urged him to continue with his good works. The Speaker of Parliament, Temalina Alban Bagbin, expressed gratitude to the Traditional Council for recognizing his efforts and contributing to the development of the country.
At the end of the day, the decisions you make will inure to the benefit of all. That is the system we are operating. And so it's not about enmity, it's not about fight, it's not about insults, it's about unity.
Temalina Bagbin said, as Parliament celebrates its 30 years of uninterrupted parliamentary democracy, Ghanaians need to identify the shortcomings of the legislature and acknowledge its successes and also make suggestions on how to improve on its work for the development of the nation.
Celebration of the 30 years anniversary of the Fourth Republic is so key to my heart, and I want that to be the opportunity for us to advocate, educate and reach out to our people to understand what we are doing, acknowledge what we have done, acknowledge our failings and see how we can amend those things to perform better for Ghana and Africa as a whole.
Let's still stay in the north. A community deba at Lore in the Nabdam district of the Upper East region marked phase 3 of a program on strengthening the capacity of women religious in early childhood development called ECD3. Now it aims at ensuring that children under 3 years in the target communities live in nurturing environments by 2024.
The SCORE ECD3 is a 3-year project running from December 2021 to November 2024. It has funding from the Conrad Hilton Foundation in partnership with the Catholic Relief Services and the Conference of Major Superiors of Religious Ghana, CMSRGH. Project implementation countries are Ghana, Kenya, Malawi and Zambia. Ghana, the only West African country, joined the project in the 3rd phase, hence SCORE ECD 111. In Ghana, the project is implemented in 10 districts: Tatale, Saboba, Chiriponi, Chamba, Solatuna Kalba, Bole Bambwe, Damango, West Mampusi, Bulsa South and Nabdam, and spearheaded by 20 Catholic sisters from 7 sister congregations in collaboration with the Ghana Health Service and municipal and district assemblies. The director of the Wa Diocesan Health Service and manager of the SCORE ECD3 project, Sister Juliana Akaite, gave some details of the project.
Developing the child in a nurturing environment, which we call SCORE ECD3. SCORE simply means strengthening the capacity of Reverend Sisters in strengthening childhood development.
The administrator of the Longwe Health Facility, Sister Rosalind Ibok, explained the relevance of the facility since its inception.
The facility do a lot of free services like immunization, seek out children that are malnourished and look after them, instant feeding and giving the support to family and training the mother, because some of these things that we are using are locally made.
From the north, let's go to the Volta region. At this year's Men's Ministry International Convention of the Global Evangelical Church at Umenu in the Adaklu district of the Volta region, heads of churches were entreated to be at the forefront of the campaign against domestic violence and abuse in the country. They were encouraged to build robust counseling units at the churches to sensitize members to address the menace. The moderator of the church, Right Reverend Prosper Jumeku, who made the call, also charged Christian men to prioritize women's safety by demonstrating godly values to lessen domestic violence.
The Global Evangelical Church Men's Ministry International Convention at Womenu in the Adaklu district of the Volta region was attended by hundreds of members from across the country, Cote d'Ivoire and Togo. The menace of domestic violence and its physical harm and emotional and psychological scars on victims was highlighted in a sermon to climax the event. The moderator of the church, Right Reverend Jomeko, said it is crucial for churches to lead the fight against domestic violence and abuse as part of its role to speak against societal ills for public good. While acknowledging the alarming prevalence of domestic violence, he emphasized the significance of men assuming their roles as protectors and advocates for women within their families and communities. Right Reverend Jomeko urged men to confront attitudes or beliefs that perpetuate gender inequality, recognizing that true holiness involves treating women as equals and ensuring that their rights and dignity are protected.
The way things are going, we should make time to teach people to forgive each other.
The Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha, urged men, most of whom are found at the helm of affairs in every facet of socio-cultural life, to lead with integrity to positively impact the nation's progress.
There are more men at the workplace than women. So if we men can live lives of integrity, Ghana will be a better place.
The national coordinator of the Global Evangelical Church Men's Ministry, Reverend Gilbert Bochu, disclosed that the ministry will focus on charity works such as mechanized borehole water projects in deprived communities as part of rebranding its programs. The convention was themed Christian Men as Agents of Holiness.
Let's do health now. Inspired to make a difference as healthcare outreach and education volunteers, the Cuban-trained Ghana Graduates Association, ESPICAN, has offered free medical screening to residents of Bukom in the Greater Accra region. The initiative was designed to improve the general well-being of the community.
Each year, the Cuban-trained Ghanaian Graduates Association has become volunteer healthcare professionals to bring quality healthcare to Ghanaians while strengthening local healthcare institutions to provide sustainable healthcare access. At the Bukom Ashotev at Gamashi in Accra, the community outreach provided free health screening as financial hardship bound many Ghanaians to forego annual medical checkup. Over 1,000 residents, including the youth and the aged, benefited from the health screening drive conducted by teams of medical professionals from the Cuban-trained Ghanaian Graduates Association, ESPICAN. They were screened for blood pressure, sugar level, hypertension, diabetes and other conditions. While underscoring the need for regular screening and checkups, the association also urged all to adopt healthy lifestyles to reduce the risk of contracting all forms of ailments. To the beneficiaries, it has helped in shaping their health status.
Sugar. My go after 20 Ghana. Free sugar go after 10 cedi. Free. I am tax. I come local. I'm to free. I get our passion. I am your po. I am be put of an inquiry.
Nipadia Chasson show Nipedium and the wood dear mono abrabom. So far as I did, Yanumus young guada Yarewo, Futo crown, and crown Futo crow chromati. A year passer. The doctor pharmacy somebody when about motion in any pedium.
The chairman of the health committee of the Cuban-trained Ghanaian Graduates Association, Dr. Bafojan, noted that many chronic diseases such as hypertension and diabetes can be prevented or controlled if they are identified early.
In the adult group, most of them are known hypertensive who are not possibly taking medicine and new ones that we have discovered. So that's the reason We know some people have the pressure, but they don't actually take the medication. So our message to them is, you take your medication and it will help you live longer. Or those who don't know, who are walking and have no idea, today we came to also identify them and guide them through how they can manage it. So majority of the adults that have passed through here, most of them record high BPs and high sugar.
The diseases, some they already know that they have them, so we continue with the medications and then advise them to follow up at the hospitals, because with the chronic diseases, what we do is that every month they go for checkups.
Celebrating its 4th decade milestone, the Cuban-trained Ghanaian Graduates Association is giving back to community through medical volunteerism and philanthropy.
Let's take you to the international front. Let's start off from Africa. Mali's junta carried out a partial reshuffle of the government today after now